If you've been thinking, I know better, yet I keep returning to my old ways, this is a must listen. You'll resonate with Wanda as I coach her through her belief that it has to be hard. You'll hear her shift when offered a lighter, empowering perspective. Hi, I'm Clarenda, and you are listening to the Feel Light, Mind, and Body podcast, created for women like you. Women who are experiencing success in so many areas of life, but are struggling with weight loss, stress eating, and decreased energy. Losing weight can feel hard, heavy, and restrictive. That's why every week I will be offering you a different perspective, tips, encouragement, and a unique approach so that you can feel lighter in your mind and body rather than feeling deprived, frustrated, or discouraged. What if you could feel free, yet in control around food for the rest of your life? What if you could enjoy your experience of losing weight and getting healthier? You absolutely can. You're in the right place. Take this time for yourself and let's dive in. Isn't it interesting and even exciting to learn a simple and lighter way of thinking and being in life? However, there's one problem that we all experience. We have a well-ingrained old pattern of thinking. This established belief system, whether you're aware of it consciously or not, is there in your subconscious mind. You may or may not realize it's really not supporting you now. As you keep listening, be ready for some ahas and stay to the end for a powerful one. You'll understand why even after learning something new that makes perfect sense to you, you continue the 2 steps forward and 1 step back pattern. That leads to slowing down your progress or even quitting as discouragement and frustration build up. Wanda, who found me through a Google search and then binge watched my videos on LinkedIn, agreed at the end of our private session that sharing some of her coaching experience would be valuable to you. She lives on the West Coast, but her origins are on the East Coast. We keep it real at 7 a.m. her time, 11 a.m. mine. We keep it fun. Today, there are 2 things I want to preface before you keep listening. 1, you'll hear her talk about keto. I coach my clients where they're at and what they're struggling with, or what they wish could be more effective or lasting for them. Keto, plant-based, traditional eating, Weight Watchers, whatever their past and present experience is for weight loss or in general life coaching, it doesn't matter. I can help. And 2, you may have noticed this is rated E for explicit. There's only a couple of words that you might not want children in the room to hear, so pop in those earbuds and don't let that deter you. I want my clients to be able to express themselves authentically without having to go into their heads and edit what's coming out. That way it doesn't block the natural flow and they can receive the help and support that they need. So if you're ready to hear how not to quit 3 feet from gold, let's jump in for part of our session. I've edited out some examples and other topics to make this consumable in hopefully 30 to 35 minutes or so. Your gold might be weight loss, like Wanda's, or it might be feeling happier, less stressed, excelling at work, deeper relationships, finding your purpose, or anything else important to you that you haven't been able to attain and then maintain. So take a deep breath in, just because you can, and open yourself up for an empowering takeaway or 2. I'll also add a few thoughts at the end of this recorded session, so don't miss out on one word. Why? Because it might be the word that will fire you up, like Wanda took away as her new word at the end. It's cognitive dissonance. Basically, it's when you have a set of thoughts that's conflicting with what you have previously been thinking, your previous programming. So what made me think of that in the group coaching last night was when you said, that diet mentality, the old keto way of thinking, and how there's a conflict going on in your mind. And that's so normal. And so just being aware of it is what's really important. And it's not like good or bad inherently that you have that. It's just what our brain does. And so once you know that, then you're like, why am I still going back to this? Well, it's what you've practiced and heard for years and years and years. So when you kind of have a term to put with it, you can just say, oh, there's CD again. There's cognitive dissonance again. Okay, let's make a shift for that. Because right now, you're also creating a new neural pathway, new mindset with the feel, light, mind, and body information. So with that, it's not your default mode yet. It's going to take practice. It's going to take coaching like this to be able to show you, this is what your brain's doing, Wanda. This is what's going on. Wow.
Right.
How does that resonate?
Yeah, that's how it feels actually. It's like, I know there's a better way, but my brain is just like, nope, got to do it this way. It feels like it's kind of when you're driving somewhere, but there's a traffic jam. You'll sit through traffic before you try to find a route around.
Yes.
You know, it's dumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
One good thing is, as you're learning more, as you're practicing, as you're willing to fail forward, as you're willing to go through the discomfort of all the growth that you're doing now, which can even be just pausing and stopping and saying, oh, here's where my old thinking is happening. Let's redirect this. How can I? When you're taking the time to do the downloads, is this serving me? Is this supporting me right now? And how is this self-sabotaging me? As you're willing to do all of that, that's the practice, because we know that just consuming information is not going to do it, compared to those of you in the course when you're actually writing it out, doing the exercises, or applying it, even talking out loud to yourself if you don't have time. I do that sometimes in the shower. That's kind of your time, and you're like, okay, how do I want to show up differently than yesterday? So the good part is, as you start to practice that, and if the new feel, light, mind, and body way, I like even adding in heart, as you know, your heart way, the more it becomes your default mode, then the cognitive dissonance will be in your favor. Because once that becomes your new pattern of thinking, whenever your brain goes back to offer you an old diet mentality thought that only worked temporarily, you can go, oh, yeah, no, that's not the way it works. I can still have a carb if I want to. I love yams. I can decide when I want to have it. I can decide how much I want to have it. I can decide to only have it if I'm hungry. I don't have to have it every day. All of those things. I can cook it in the best way, healthiest way possible. Doesn't need to be French fries. Like, I get to decide all of that.
Right.
And that also calms that toddler brain who's like, you haven't had any carbs in so long, and then you just go into that more than one serving, more than one day, possibly more than 1 week.
Right. Yeah.
I saw your eyes kind of go, oh, when I said when it can work in your favor.
Yeah.
That's to give you hope.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, wouldn't I like to be in a place where I'm doing more of this work and less than doing all that other work? Because like I said, the thing is with the other work, it's not working. It's in my brain, but it's not. It's like, why is that there? It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. It's not working for me. I keep going back to something that doesn't work. It doesn't work for my brain, for my lifestyle, for my anything. So I'm trying to stay on that. I'm trying to, I feel like I'm literally trying to stay on that damn highway, and it's like, get off of it. Take the slow route if you have to. It's okay.
Yes. And the other thing is, it's one thing, all the thinking, like you're going back to that old pattern of thinking, but the most important thing is how you're responding to that pattern of thinking. So that includes judging yourself.
Right.
Watch, when you listen back to this, you'll hear there was a tone to your voice, which I'm very familiar with myself. And it's like, get off of that, get off that highway, get going forward.
Yeah, it's a frustration. And yesterday was a good session too, around the whole, what were we talking about? The hangover part?
Yeah,
the expectation hangover. That was a really good one too, because I was like, oh, because now my mindset is, unless I do something extreme, I'm going to be dealing with this weight loss goal again in January. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just do the extreme now, so I don't have to deal with this in January, because my goal is to not have to deal with this in January. So now I have to be like, okay, well, just forget what the calendar says. Just go for and I'm so scared of, like, for me, when you're talking, like, my mindset is like, what Clarenda is saying is too easy. And I think we touched on that yesterday. And I'm like, if it's too easy, I won't get the results if I don't make it hard. Like, if it's too easy, there's something wrong with it being easy.
When do you think you first decided that hard is so much better than easy?
I don't know. I don't know. I just.
Did you see it modeled at home?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember my mom, like, I remember my first Weight Watchers meeting with my mom. It was like we'd
Mm.
like kill ourselves for the week. And then as soon as the meeting was over, we'd run over to Swiss Chalet and have like a massive pig out.
Right.
So that's sort of my brain is like, oh God, we struggled through that week instead of just
Yes.
being like, hey, like, why do we had to struggle to get the rewards. I think that's a lot of it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's interesting. Note to self, don't write this down. Just remember, struggle to get the reward is my mindset.
Right. Is the old mindset.
Right.
So start to talk as though from your future self, who's there, who's
Right.
attained her goal, and just look back and say, yeah, I used to think that way. This is how it wasn't supporting me. I'm choosing to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So you're always staying in that growth mindset instead of the fixed mentality of it's what I've always done. It gave me a little bit of success. It was temporary. It was hard. Then I got to reward myself. And then I continued the cycle. So,
yeah, I can't, I guess because it goes back to, well, I can't see it yet, so I can't do it.
right. So sometimes, well, that's why you have me, though.
Right.
That's why the
Okay.
group.
Right.
That's why you've watched Donna, who a
yeah.
lot of you were like, oh, wow, Donna. And then you watched her struggle this past week.
Yeah.
And then last night, she's out of it again. You could see it by the end. She's ready. She's ready to go. But we're going to have that. Those are just little obstacles. And that's where so many people give up.
Right.
The other thing, when I was preparing for you today, I was thinking of the 3 feet from gold, quitting 3 feet from gold. Do you remember that in Napoleon Hill's
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so one person gave up just 3 feet from gold. The good part is, I think it was Darby. I'd have to look it up to be sure, but I think that was his name. He went on to use his learning, his growth from making that mistake. And then he used it to fuel his commitment and his determination to be such an amazing, successful insurance agent.
Right.
So there's so much value in that story. I just love it. But I think too many of us can quit 3 feet from gold because discouragement is such a big saboteur. And that's where showing up, that's why I encourage you all to show up to our individual call like this or the group one, because even if you're not coached and you hear someone else being coached, it's going to be like, okay, it's like your vitamin for the week. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get my own personal vitamins. And if I don't, I feel depleted and I know it. So part of that is reminding yourself, not judging yourself. Because were you judging Donna last week when she was
not
in
at
her
all.
funk? Right.
No, totally in awe of what she's been able to accomplish. And, I also I think I saw a post somewhere where Donna's got like 4 kids or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, like, like I run a life that's very, like work is really, really extreme. Like I get that. But then I'm watching, like, it's so funny because then that's what I like about the group stuff. You're watching, I think it's Alana. Is that Alana? Is that her name? I'm watching her. She's obviously a paramedic. And I'm thinking, well, mine's not life and death. Like that's a crazy job. Like I can't even imagine being that on all the time. Like, so I'm watching them and going, well, they're doing it.
Right.
And they're doing it under more stress than I'm even under. Yes, but I can't dismiss how much stress I'm under. I get it. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot coming at me.
Exactly.
But it's just like, well, it can be done. So I think about what you say. Well, what if you can do it? Plus, it's not like because you're under stress, you can't do it. It's like because you're under stress, you can do it. And then I think about Donna and I'm like, yeah, at least when I come home, when I quote unquote home, when I turn off the computer, I have no responsibilities. Like I'm quiet. It's a quiet life. I put on a TV show. I'm in bed. My sleep is mostly good. Like if I want to go for a walk, I don't have to worry about 4 kids coming along or whatever. It's just a very interesting notice of, so where's my limitation? Like, where do I keep going back to? So that's what I keep trying to figure out is where's the data for me? Where's the point of quote unquote failure? And it might be just that, like try to go on the keto mindset versus the just have a piece of yam, just have a piece of watermelon, just have something light. Don't sabotage with food that's quote unquote unplanned. Then I still end up eating the sugar. Sugar's my addiction now. Like if there's anything that's holding me back, like when I look at my meal plan, I do my 24-hour plan and then I see where I screwed up or where I'm not getting my results. It's with sugar.
Yes. Same. Same for me as well. I mean, sugar is, I don't
So
like to
addictive.
moralize food, but sugar, I do
Oh,
think personally it's evil.
I feel like
It's
for
destructive.
me, sugar is like, I feel like this is how someone would feel like with an alcohol addiction.
Absolutely.
And because I'm just literally like, once it starts to consume it, I'm like, I'll have like, just I'm gonna have a little tiny bit more. It's like I'm gonna have that one last drink.
Yes.
Like, and then I better just have one more piece of
Mhm.
this because tomorrow I'm not gonna have it anymore.
Right. So it's almost like that scarcity. I don't know when I'll have this again.
Yeah.
Instead of coming back to the feel like mind and body way, saying, if I want that, I can make the best choice possible, which for me, it's fruit.
Yeah.
So fruit
Right.
doesn't, yes, it'll raise and add glucose and all of that, but there's so much good quality. And then with having the fiber in it, it doesn't give me the same, it's not concentrated. Now, if I drank juice and I had like 6 oranges in one glass, that's
Yeah.
different. But so we get a natural dopamine hit, and that's healthy. That's the way we should. That's a good feeling. There's nothing wrong with having pleasure in our food, but it's the over pleasuring. It's that false boost, that false dump of dopamine, or the brain saying, "Ooh, that was good. That was a little bit. Let's have some more and some more." And then what that triggers is so much self-judgment and self-shame, blame. And I think that is where you get closer to quitting, the all or nothing mentality. So when you're looking at your plan, I invite you to think about what is almost like a celebratory food for me that's not going to throw me in a spin.
Right. My
One thing.
brain gets racy. Like my brain, when I decide I need something, I can't stop it. Like I feel like it takes control of me. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
that urge. That's that
yeah, the
urge.
dopamine kicks in and I was like, I gotta have this thing. I gotta have this now.
Right. So that's where with the urge, grab your pen and just like let the energy come out through your pen and just write this down. I really want this now, and let it all come out, and then rebuttal. So those are
Right.
all your excuses. That's all your story. That's all your primitive brain, the toddler part, and let it all come out, and then go, okay, future self, advice, please.
Right.
Future self who's reached her goal, advice, please. She's going to first of all say, okay, it's normal. Don't make it a big deal. Stop judging yourself. It'll pass. This too shall pass. It's waves. Urges we know is a feeling, and urges pass. Emotions have that rise and fall, and that's okay. Instead of where your focus goes is what grows, right? So we don't want to intensify it with a lot of resistance or judgment, or you're just going to keep magnifying it. It'll still be present in your whole sphere.
I think I'll buy some fruit this week. I really have avoided fruit for a really long time because it's not keto, but I'll eat other shit that's keto. Quote
Yes.
unquote. I'll eat keto chocolate, but I won't eat fruit.
Yeah.
Like it just nothing I do makes sense.
Right.
So yeah, I think I may buy some fruit this week and add it into my plan just to see how
Mm-hmm.
that feels. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
even know if I like fruit anymore, to be honest. Like other than I love watermelon.
I would start with other fruit other than watermelon, though, Wanda,
Yeah.
because watermelon's been so much in your mind that
Yeah.
you get a taste of it, you may overdo it, and which is going to prove your
Yeah.
cognitive dissonance. It's going to say, see, that's why we don't do fruit. So do the mind work first to say fruit is not evil.
Yeah.
Like you can even look up what's the benefits of this? What nutrition am I getting with a kiwi? Oh my gosh, look at all the benefits. So you're looking at it as that, and then think, I only need so much. My body can only absorb so much nutrition. So, and then eat it. You might want to take a little spoon. I have one of those little tiny spoons. So if I'm going to cut it up, I'll just have one piece at a time and just taste the difference. Literally just be very intentional so that you're not setting yourself up to prove yourself right.
Right. Prove myself can't have fruit either because I'm going to overdose on that. It's just so hard because and then part of me, and I don't know where this comes into at all, is like, I feel like, and I do maintain my weight, which is great. Like, I feel like I do everything correct. I don't overdo any one particular thing where, for the most part, my weight stays pretty much within 4 or 5 pounds.
Right.
But that's not the goal.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I've got to do something different to get it down. Right. Like, so.
Stopping judging yourself is going to be one of the first things, and stopping focusing on what you're not doing right and focusing on what you're doing right.
And I feel like I do focus on what I'm doing right because I keep doing it all right.
Right.
So how do I get to my goal though if I'm constantly doing the thing that's wrong to not get there?
The biggest thing is you're going to have those thoughts regardless. We can't get rid of those thoughts, that thinking. We can lessen it. So first of all, like normalizing it. This is normal. Right. Now you have a word for it. You have language around it. This is cognitive dissonance. Okay.
Right.
What do I want it to be like instead? And how do I want to think? If you had the spectrum of, we'll go here, feel, light, mind, and body mentality, way of thinking, and that's a 10. And back here, 0 is your old diet mentality, keto, as you refer it to. So that's a 0. Where would you put yourself on the spectrum right now in your thinking?
Probably at a 5 or a 6. I feel like I go back and forth pretty quickly between the two.
So when we think of that, if we want to think of it as a scale, what's going to tip the scale towards a feel, light, mind, and body is 1, showing up like you are now. And then you can watch this recording again. That's solidifying it. And doing little steps once you feel prepared. If you feel out of control, that's not the time to introduce fruit again.
Yeah.
But with feeling like prepared, okay, this is good. I've done my research. I can see how much value that is. This is how much I'm going to have. And then following through and honoring that is going to really tip the scale. So always think, is what I'm doing going towards what I want to feel light in my mind and body? Or is it going back to what feels hard, feels necessary, all of that makes you rebel eventually?
Signed up for the course, do the course, know the course, because the feel, light, mind, and body is so appealing. Mm-hmm. And then yet there's this internal part of me that likes the struggle.
Yes.
Like I just keep thinking, I'm like, God, the struggle is like, I don't like it, or I wouldn't have signed up for the light, mind, and body course. I would have signed up for like 75, because I know I sort of don't like the struggle. I don't want to be out there.
Consciously,
yes.
Unconsciously, remember from the previous modeling and programming, there's somewhere we have esteemed. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. No, that's not the one. But basically, there was something it was putting me to, like, about being hard, like life is hard, that kind of thing.
The maritime way sometimes. That way we're survivors, like we came from potato famines and we need to try harder than everybody else, right? Or so this is where it comes from. You're like extremely hard working and driven, or you're the lazy ass who collects pokey all year long.
Yes.
There's no in between. How can you be a successful person who is not feeling like, and it's do a lot. I like to make things complicated. And I feel like you only lose weight if you're running. Like you got to be running to lose weight. I was like, the fittest people in the world I know do yoga. I've seen a guy stand on his fingers. They're so strong from yoga class. Not that I want to do yoga, but just as a thought.
Right. Like, and now you're seeing that people lost 40, 50, 60 pounds, my testimonials, without any exercise.
I know. Then I feel, just so you know what I really appreciate you too, is that you're always talking about weight training, because I've worked with other people who've been like, don't exercise at all.
Right.
To lose the weight.
Yes.
But for me, I was just like, no, the weight training for me just seems crucial. Just for me, it just releases my brain. I really enjoy it.
Right. And so the shift that I think will help you, like it has helped me, is working out. Strength training is so good. Like I did it this morning. I got my 30 minutes in. When I'm doing that, it's more like I'm doing this to be strong. I'm doing this so I can pick up my table and take it to my storage shed uphill. Exactly. I can be independent. I can be all the activities of daily living, as well as, like I shared last night, I finally also added to that the tone. If we don't use it, we'll lose it.
Yeah.
But when we can release the thought, the pressure of I'm doing this to lose weight, then there's more joy in doing it than feeling a necessity. And then, you miss out, or you go a few days, you have an injury, you get sick, all of that stuff. That's why I developed this program, not to be centered around it. Everything we add in is bonus. So also it goes along with helping you with, how can this be simple? So when you had said about hard and easy is a word that's like, it's just sometimes feels woo-woo out there, like that's not possible. So I like simple.
Yes. Remind me, simple. Yes, that's true. That's good.
So when your brain is saying, it has to be hard, just reframe that with, it has to be simple. How can I make this simple? Again, this is why we're recording this. So
yes, but that's gonna need I need that word. I like it. It's easy. I just take as lazy, daisy. Not good. Because I feel like if it's easy, I should be able to just show up, be on the call, and lose the weight. It should just magically transform itself. But if it's simple, it means I'm simple. Yeah. And that's what makes it. I think we talked about this. It's like simple eating. Yeah, we did. We had this conversation yesterday. It's like, how do we just eat simple? Like the simplest way to lose weight is to eat simple.
That's right.
I get so.
I know. So when we're done here, I think a good thing is, what are the simple basics I'm willing to practice every day?
Yeah.
Okay. So for your takeaway, let's just think that with cognitive dissonance, it's going to be there. It's going to pop up. It wants to hang on to that pre-existing belief. It wants that to still be there because it feels comfortable. Remember that survival, the primitive part of the brain likes what's familiar, what it believes is true. And it feels like there's a disconnect or a work in process. And just think of that as, this is my bridge to get to where I want to go. And then not judge yourself when you're having that. Even letting go of that judging and beating yourself up is going to give you more energy back. It's going to take that mental bandwidth. Like, you're just going to have more to work with and decrease your stress because you're going to be more productive in your actual work.
Right.
All of that.
It feels it always felt related.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Absolutely.
I always can feel like if I can figure out the lighter mind and body stuff, it's going to resonate, go throughout, be within the rest of my life. Like,
right. Have that ripple effect.
Yeah.
Because what you do well, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So
exactly,
you get control of that. And even the simple declaration, I like declaration more than affirmation, but just declaring this, like, I'm doing this. This is a process, and I realize that, and I'm going to keep progressing, just like I do in learning how to do my business well. And I'm also learning how to do my life well, how to make it lighter for my mind and body, not heavier, not harder. And you might even have to like start working on that. Harder isn't always the best way.
Yeah. When is it ever the best way?
I guess it's how we think of hard. You know, I think you and I both kind of have the hard as a challenge too. And then when we do something hard, there's that reward of, wow, I did that. So instead of hard, I like to say, I'm okay with challenging. Challenging feels better to me than hard. Yeah. Because I like that, it can be challenging, and I can still say, how can I make this as light as possible as I go through this challenge? Because imagine me saying, lighter. Imagine me saying, how can I make this heavier? How can I make this harder to get through this challenge? But that's what we're doing unconsciously.
That would be my course.
Right. All of us, that's what we tend to want to do. But instead it's like, and it's only because we are creating a new form of cognitive dissonance.
Right.
And the beauty is, once you get it, it's going to reject your old way of thinking.
Yes.
Say, no, we're not going there today.
Yeah.
I see you. I hear you.
Keep getting closer to it. I can feel it. Like, I feel like you said, we're in the middle. I feel like I came from a 0 going to a 10. I was in a 2 and a 3, and we're slowly, even the fact I'm in a 5 and a 6, I'm recognizing now that I'm doing things. It's just, it's getting more and more clear. I was like, this is not working. It's time to go for what I want, why this program resonated with me, why I want it to be where I want my life to be. I don't want it to be so beady uppy and complicated and hard, but I want the results. So and I can see, and I've got the group coaching's great because I can see the results from it. So it's cool. It's good. So I know it can happen. I've got real life evidence.
Exactly. On the weeks that you might not have experienced it and you see that someone else has, you're like, as long as it's not that comparison's a thief of joy. And I think you guys are all really good at, maybe that pops up, and then because of what you've learned, you're able to shift it to inspiration. Oh no, she's being an example of what is possible, because you've done this journey together as well.
And
then with you and I doing private. Joyful. And with you and I doing private, you're able to just kind of zone in, laser in on your specific thing for as long as you want to talk about that issue. So
no, it's good. And like I said, the group is good too, because like I said, I really like seeing other people's issues, because you don't think they're yours, and then all of a sudden you see it and you're like, oh yeah, I'm struggling with that. Like right away, and then you can see it. Then you're just like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool to see that I hadn't thought of. The one around yesterday, like I said, the hangover one was really, I was literally going through that, and then you brought it up for Donna, because she's like 2 pounds away, and I'm like, I'm 40 pounds away and I have the hangover, because I literally was like, well, I'm not going to get this goal now for January like I had planned because I can't lose 40 pounds by then. So therefore, I should just give up. I
Right.
won't give up on the health, which is good. I've got
Mhm.
that cemented. I am a healthy person. I'm a person who does these habits and like they're just so ingrained in me. But I was willing to give up. I'm trying to lose weight.
Yes. Because you were trying to prevent yourself from that January 1st feeling like a failure.
Well,
So,
clarity was a failure, in my opinion. Like I'd already failed. Like there's no way to get to 40-pound weight loss by January. So I was like, well, I can't do it. So I'm not even going to try. So I'll
mhm,
just hang around and just do the five easy things that get me my results and just,
stay healthy.
yeah, I'll
Stay
stay
healthy,
healthy.
but not get to my ultimate goal. Right.
Yeah.
Like somewhere along the way is, yeah, I'm not worthy of doing that because I mess up, because I
Yeah.
fail. Hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you
So
know right off without doing some thought work and writing it out what you're thinking now? Like what is it that you're going to think purposefully, intentional?
I feel like Donna now. Donna's my inspiration. I'm like, whenever it happens, it happens. Like I'll
Yes.
just keep like we talked about it is like, well, if I keep going for it, like it's gonna happen. If I do the right steps. Like
Yes.
what my ultimate goal is to be at my goal weight for the rest of my life.
Mhm. Exactly.
So if it's not for a year, it's not for a year, right? And then it's also like, maybe the goal weight isn't the weight that I want to be. Maybe it's this feeling that I get. I don't know what
Exactly.
exactly it's going to be when I get there, but I'm going to know when I'm there.
Right. Okay. So next week, let's talk about what do you think your feeling will be when you get to that set goal
Uh,
weight that you have in your mind? Like, what is that feeling? Because then I want to help you start to find that feeling now, to produce the
okay.
feeling now, because
Right.
that's going to generate everything else. Because we know that our feelings drive our actions and give us our results. So that is
Cool.
one thing. The
Oh,
other thing
that's
is,
actually it's your fault. I had to buy a new gas top, by the way.
oh, yeah, how?
Because you said to me, we were talking about my goal of buying this apartment. And you said, where are you going to be when you get there? And I said, I'm going to be peaceful. So
Yes.
I've been working on peace. The
Yes.
clicking noise to turn that thing on distracts my peace. So I was like, I'm going to be peaceful while living in this home now. So I'm doing everything now to make this home my peace.
Yes.
So
I love
yes.
that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So thank
And
you.
you're welcome. And I'll show you. I'm being peaceful by keeping my place with less paper clutter in
Yeah.
my sphere.
Yeah.
So there's still clutter in my spare room, but it's out of sight, out of mind. And
Yeah.
I have a more peaceful, creative mind because
Yeah.
your brain has to register every little thing it sees. So
100%.
it's a
I'm
lot of
working my
stimulation.
weekend job. So yes. So thank you. So that this works so that now now I'm zoning in on the light, the simple. I like that word. That's my word.
Mhm.
That's my word this month. So, okay. Cool.
Okay. So just to recap really quick, one of the things to say is to take the pressure off yourself right now for that goal. Tweak your goal. Right now, we know having that goal is not serving you, supporting you in the same way. Doesn't mean it won't pop up after you've done some of this work, after you've tipped the spectrum more to feel light, mind, body, after you've created more neural pathway stability for that cognitive dissonance. You might in October suddenly realize, oh my gosh, I'm already halfway there. I can do this.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
You
true.
never
Good
know.
point. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would just say do that. And so you keep the same goal, tweak it so that maybe it's not a number, it's the feeling. And it is not just the feeling, but it might be a clothing item that you want to be able to wear comfortably or any of that. And then just be open with, if it's a for life thing, just be open to extending the time frame as needed to keep that feeling of commitment, of determination. Because once you say, if I don't, then I don't, you're going to go right back onto that yo-yo old mentality
Right.
again to feed that and soothe that cognitive dissonance. And that's what we're breaking free of. So
Yeah. Doing it once, doing it right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't ready. Cool.
So what if it could be simple? What do you think? If you've debated on taking advantage of the session that I offer to you free as a podcast listener, but you've put it off or backed out because of feelings of uncertainty about what it will look or feel like, well, this is it. You've just experienced a taste of it. And by the way, Wanda paid for her first consult by finding me through Google, and she thought it was so worth it that she became a client. We keep it light, even as we go a level deeper. Just like it doesn't have to be hard, it also doesn't have to feel heavy, shameful, or scary. I'm just a person who has experienced many of the same struggles or has coached a gazillion clients on their struggles. I happen to believe fully in this Feel Light Mind and Body experience. Otherwise, I wouldn't have created it. I wouldn't have invested $25,000 into the life coaching certification. I wouldn't keep showing up here every week. I wouldn't have spent time and energy starting Clarenda's empowerment coaching from the ground up. I do it because I'm passionate and committed to helping you get results in the simplest, lightest, and most enjoyable way possible. I learn from you as you learn from me, and it's a beautiful process. I hold space for you in a loving, compassionate, and non-judgmental way. Private coaching, as well as group coaching, is a safe container. Doing life with women who are experiencing similar yet different challenges is encouraging. And guess what? It's okay if you don't quite believe it's possible for you. I have enough belief happening within for both of us. You can borrow some of mine as you strengthen your own while you get results. It's a journey, an experience well worth it. You're worth it, my friend. Seriously. I know that's a line you may hear thrown around, but I want you to receive it today. You are worth it. Your health, relationships, and life satisfaction are worth it. So see this episode's description as I'm leaving you with two options. Pick one and go for it. 1. Book your complimentary 20 to 30 minute session and receive at least one takeaway to empower you as you move forward. 2. Enjoy the short, free 5-part video series, 5 Steps So Your Clothes Feel Looser. And what I most recommend is to take advantage of both of these offers. You've listened to the end for a reason. I'm here to help you, and I'd be honored to contribute to your success. Ready? Let's do this. You're so capable. I believe in you. This is how you can get out of your funk. Let's go. Now, do yourself the biggest favor. From love, take at least one action step from what you learned today. Knowledge without application won't give you the results that you desire. Let me know on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, what you are choosing to do and when. And yes, please leave a podcast review wherever you are listening to this. When people read your words and can see themselves in them, then you are contributing to women empowering other women. And that feels amazing. You just might change or save a life today.